before I voted. And by the way, it led Ben Nelson to write to Harry Reid and say, take my deal out of this bill. I was the one that said either everybody should get that or nobody should get it. It's not the way we should do business in the United States Senate. I would not, it is true, vote at the end to kill health care reform, because I think we need an architecture here from which to work. Had I voted the other way, we would not have passed a bill in the United States Senate.
Thank you. Andrew, go ahead.
This is really a false choice to suggest that the only option we've got is either to kill the bill or to settle for the backroom deals, and the public option list proposal, I think, is false. And it reflects, I think, not just on the part of a single senator, that's true, but on the part of a corrupt system, what's wrong in Washington. When the insurance companies cut deals with members of the Senate to kill the public option, when drug companies cut deals with the Senate leadership to protect their profits instead of their consumers, I think Washington is fundamentally broken. And it's also, I think, apparent that the reason we're in this mess is because the Senate, at least the Democratic Party, did not have the courage of its convictions when this debate began. They could have put, for example, a universal single-payer plan on the table. They didn't do that. They split the difference before the debate even started. It's no wonder when you begin at the 50-yard line, you don't get where you need to go. I recognize it's fashionable to blame the Republicans, but the truth is, if 41 members of the minority party are going to hold up progress by threatening a filibuster, it's time for somebody in the majority party to call their bluff, make them talk, see how long their lungs or bladders or the American people hold out at that spectacle.
You know, Michael, if you want to respond to that, but I also want to ask you, and you can combine the two. When you look,
2 minutes, or
you'll get an extra
okay.
minute. Don't worry. Why don't you go ahead and go ahead and respond to that?
No, go ahead, Aaron.
Well, when you've been in the Senate for over a year. When you look back on that period, if you were to pick one accomplishment of which you're most proud, what would it be?
I think, well, first, I think overall what I would say is that I have worked extremely hard in the Senate, and more important than that, in Colorado, to have adult conversations about the issues that we're facing. I haven't been part of the screaming match that's gone on back there or the stuff that you're seeing on your cable. And the reason I've done that is that I believe that our creed that we have passed from one generation to the next, that our job here, and I feel this very strongly as a father of 3 little girls and somebody who had a very important relationship with 75,000 children in the Denver public schools, I deeply believe that our creed is that we leave more opportunity, not less, to the people coming after us, and that that is going to be so much more powerful at the end of the day than the partisan charges and countercharges that ricochet around our Capitol or on our cable TV. And I've drawn enormous strength from the conversations I've had in red parts of the state and in blue parts of the state, because our aspirations are really the same. We need to construct a politics that's worthy of American people and the aspirations they have for our kids, and I believe I've contributed to that in the first year that I've been there. I'll say, by the way, in rebuttal to Andrew's last comment, that I don't have any disagreement with him.
All right, Andrew, when you look back on your service as Speaker of the House, what would you, if you had to pick a single accomplishment of which you're most proud, what would it be?
You know, what I told my colleagues when they made me the first Democratic Speaker of the House since 1976, which was about 3rd grade, maybe 5th for Michael, I said, we should start solving some of the...
I flunked 2nd grade, so you have to add.
Oh, you added. You skipped a year. He's gifted. What I said to them was, we should start solving some of the problems we inherited, this deep fiscal crisis, a state that had fallen to 48th in job growth and 49th in public support for higher education and 50th in child immunization rates. I said we should solve those problems for 2 reasons. One, because I think if we do, the state, the chances of us keeping this majority will be stronger. But 2, even if we lose for some reason, the state will be in better shape. And that's the point. It seems to me the point of getting power is not just to keep it, it's to use it to improve the lives of the people you represent. And I think sometimes the folks we send to far-off lands like Washington, D.C., forget who sent them there or why, and become more interested in their own job security than in ours. The fault here lies with a system that is too often, I think, seduced by the special interests that subsidize its campaigns and the politicians who are happy to collect that cash.
Let me ask you each a yes-no question. With health care reform stymied right now to some extent. Would you, Andrew, and then Michael, I'll ask you the same question, would you be in favor of using a 51-vote majority in the reconciliation process to pass the health care measure? Andrew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes, and I sent Harry Reid a letter today saying we should use reconciliation to pass a public option on the floor of the United States Senate.
Thank you for joining me for part one of our three-part series of the first formal debate between former Colorado Speaker of the House Andrew Romanoff and U.S. Senator Michael Bennet in their contest for the Democratic nomination for the United States Senate here in 2010. We'll be back with part two, so stay tuned. I'm Aaron Harbour, host of Colorado Election 2010. Please join me as the top candidates in the state debate and discuss the most important issues to you and to everyone across the country. We'll also deal with the top ballot issues on the series as well, so this can be your #1 source of information for the 2010 election. For more information, go to our website, colorado2010.com.